Hello, and welcome to The King is Watching. So, bit of an interesting one. So, I've been doing a bit of background, sort of like a bit of grinding to get some of the kings leveled up in the background the previous day. And interestingly, there's been a recent patch, and I'll show you what I mean. And where are we? In fact, probably just best to go into preparation here, because I can show it off here. So there's been a patch that happened, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that has changed how the ability unlocks work, and just added a few little quality of life changes and things. But the big thing is that now all characters will have their first ability unlocked from the start, so everyone has at least one ability. But what's also interesting is when you unlock them now, during the mission they'll actually become available. And they've changed how they unlock, so you no longer need to, since you get the first one for free, you only have to beat the first boss to get the second ability, and the third boss in order to get the final ability. And so, the other day, I actually went and I did difficulty 2 village, and I got, where are we? So we've got King Spellus all the way up to level 3. And we've got King Alucard all the way up to level 3. And they're both very interesting to play as, I'll give you that. And lastly, as you can see, you might have noticed on the bottom left there, we've got our final advisor slot. And I've put in the advisor Sophie here, who gives you more options at the research table. The different options all take up the same amount of time, so you can research any of these, it will take the same time, but she can now research, so you've got regular production, you can do established production and advanced production buildings there, as well as levy, elite, and levy, veteran, and elite barracks as well. So she can basically just roll for any building from the research table, which makes me think maybe next we want to be going toward this extra research table if we're going to be using her. I've also managed to get, where are we with the run that I did, and again it was just difficulty 2 on the village, and I was just thinking, oh, I'll just grind out a bit of, some extra levels on some of these kings, so that on the next few episodes we can have a bit more variety, rather than it just being the same thing over and over again. I ended up getting the no castle damage kind of on accident. I just didn't lose any castle damage at all, and it was with King Alucard. Where is he here? Yeah, this guy who summons loads of skeletons. So yeah, very interesting. So we've got some interesting stuff. We're going to keep this load out at the moment. So what we've been using so far, combined with Sophie, that allows for more options at the research table. I think we'll move over to the graveyard, and we're going to try for difficulty 4. So we're going to start with some gold debt, and the enemies are going to be a bit tougher, there's going to be some debris to clear, and the bosses are going to start having modifiers. King Alucard is quite unique. So, living units have a 25% chance of raising as undead after dying. So, when he loses units, he might actually get them back. It increases the damage dealt by undead units by 1% per morale. Keep in mind, it's not all units, it's undead units. In fact, I think what we might do as well, we'll go to our council here. I'm going to swap one of them out. I think maybe either the Golem or Fancybeard here. I think, yeah, probably get rid of Golem for this one, and we'll put Phoenix on, so that we've got a chance of troops being resurrected again. So his guys are just going to keep coming back. He's got 4 gaze upgrades, so he goes from like little right angled thing there to a little square. Then it slowly turns into a rectangle, so fairly typical. His abilities, so his quests. When he gets 15 undead units, he can get 4 necromancy spells. After losing 150 undead units, he can get 5 lots of resources, and he raises 10 skeletons and gains permanent morale. And once 10 unique undead units are on the battlefield at once, all his undead will now use poison. Which we should be able to do that in the graveyard, so... And I think he's going to be really good with the graveyard, considering the stuff you can buy with the relics. He can summon up to 2 dead bodies in an area, and the other dead bodies that aren't summoned back up get converted into wine. This guy is really good at keeping a massive stock of wine, by the way. I ended up getting to about 400 in the run that I did to unlock his abilities. He can also upgrade 2 friendly undead in an area. But he's going to need flour. You'll remember the bone pit can be upgraded to have like generate flour. We're going to be using that a lot. Forbidden Techniques allows him to upgrade his other 2 abilities. So we're going to stamp that and we're going to get going. Just realised I've been talking for about 6 or 7 minutes already. Right, and we've got the spider to start us off with. Great. I really hate this guy. Do we want the 100 wine or do we want the extra units? We'll go with the extra units here, just... yeah. Up here we'll put the wells down. And we'll start speeding things up a little bit. Let's see. I'd like to use, I think, like these 3 tiles here and then these 3 tiles here for trees and fields. How's this guy doing? He's seen better days. We'll try to get this thing set up quickly. Right. And we'll put that down, and then we're going to need some water as well to build the peasant's hut. We have got some troops to start us off with though, so yep, they're fine. Levy barracks. I'm gonna go swordsman, and we're gonna go crystal mine, I think. The crystal mine will allow us to summon some of those mushrooms. Honestly, one of my favourite advisors, that just being able to summon some mushrooms at the beginning really helps you clear out a lot of like the early waves. Can't deal with 20 zombies right at the start. Yeah, we'll go on necromancy here. Right. And we're nearly ready to get this guy his little merry-go-round thing. That'll heal him back up. I think each time it goes round it gives him like an extra 100. It is going to eat through our grain though, so we have to be careful. Anyways, back up to about 3/4. I think we recycle this. I mean, we could do militia camp, I guess. But we've already got swordsmen. I mean, we certainly don't want to be going with units that are going to require gold, given that we've got so little. Mind you, this is going to require gold to build, so we'll take it. If we don't like it, we can. And this is something I've found out as well. I think I might have known this at some point, but I've forgotten and then rediscovered it. Like, we can just sell blueprints we don't want, so we don't have to recycle them then. We can recycle them later if we wish. Right, we're going to need some grain going here. Right. Because this guy needs this going round, and it does cost grain to keep it going. And we're going to need it for training troops. I think each cycle of it gives him 100 health back. Right. And we're going to upgrade our grunts here. And you'll be noticing we'll be doing that quite a lot. Because all of our skeletons are grunts. So we're going to be really focusing on trying to get them beefed up a bit. We're going to need a lot of water too here. And then a lot more grain as well. Keeping in mind that the cost for building this will go up. Once we put one down, we need a bit more than the like 120 it says we'll need. And it's done. Right. More swordsmen or healthier militia? That's a good question. We'll make these tougher so that they stick around longer. And yeah, we're starting to need a lot more grain here. We'll get going with this. And 2 and 4. There we are. Get a bit more grain. What's interesting though with these skeletons that he summons up is they actually stick around. Like, they really stick around. There's no timer on them. They're not temporary troops, they're permanent. So not only can we get a bunch of them, we can absolutely go beyond our max troop limits with them. And then we can even start upgrading them if we can get a windmill. And then we can just keep summoning more here. But yeah, one thing we're going to want is a bone pit. Second ability cooldown could be good here. Oh, or we could just like massively bump up our swordsman. I'm gonna go with that, and damage dealt by swordsman 100% is extremely tempting, and I think I'm going to take it. And we'll grab some metal. Right. Let's get some water. We can use second life then. We've got a nice pile of corpses here. We want to use that fairly often, but you do want to use it when it's a good pile of corpses. Otherwise, you are kind of wasting it. Right. Oh. I clicked on the... I was trying to click on this and I've clicked on something on the reward screen. It's fine though, we can't really afford much. We're going to be saving it till we've got an ancient pit. So Right. Artifact. Ooh. Seal on on two tiles is pretty good, depending where it puts them. But that said, 30 of everything, so it'll mean yeah, it'll mean even the rare resources. We'll take the two tiles though, the two seals. And we'll take an iron mine for the swordsman. In fact, we'll open the barracks first, so if we need any specific resources, we can see what we can pick. Let's see. Crossbowmen buff warriors. Slingers will buff other slingers. We're mostly going to have grunts, in all fairness. But yeah, this is going to require all the gold in the world to build, so we're going to go with Slinger's Tree for now. And we are going to start needing a lot of gold. So we are pretty low, given that generational debt modifier that we've taken on. Ooh, 14. I tell you what, let's move this forward, move this back one, and we'll do something like that. They're only crawlers, but still. Right. Yeah, there's still a lot of them. We'll take the, yeah, we'll take the arena. And we're going to have to start running this merry-go-round thing for that guy again. As well as getting some more troops. We want to stay on top of our troops as well. So what we need to keep in mind is that, yeah, okay, these skeletons are permanent, but we can't create them all that often. So we want to try and take a bit of care to them, because we can create an absolutely massive army with Second Life, but it does rely on you kind of keeping those troops alive. Right, let's have a look. We're gonna want some food, it looks like, yeah. Bit of grain, bit of wheat. And we need to keep this guy entertained so that the boss doesn't become too powerful. Right, we'll get some clay. I don't think we've got any yet, and I'm fairly certain you need it for one of these gaze upgrades at some point. Right. And we want to start moving toward getting rid of some of our... no, I can't send them there. We'll send them over here for now, these scouts. But yeah, we want to move toward getting rid of this debt at some point, so we're probably going to want a market. The thing is, if we sell the grain right now, you know what we could do? We could sell the iron bars we've got, and that would get rid of the generational debt. Because selling each for 3 means that we would literally clear 150 gold, getting rid of our generational debt. So that'd be a good way of doing it. This clay thing is going to get through. Yeah. Oh well, we'll lose 5 health. 10% off buildings, right, so our Golem advisor, it's like we've got him back. Okay, not bad. we can make the slinger's tree now. And we're making a tidy sum of gold. In fact, yeah, our generational debt's already nearly gone. We are going to have to stop that for a moment though, just while we keep this guy entertained for a few moments. Getting back up to half-ish. Let's send the ruin scouts over here, get this sorted. And they've cleared it, send them back to this one. No, don't get caught up in a fight, and oh well. They're dead then. Now this could be a problem. But luckily we've got spells. Okay. We've run out of wheat and we've run out of water. This is going to be a problem. Oh, that's what will happen. So I turn into a skeleton. That's what that effect was. Right, we're going to need a lot of water and a decent bit of wheat, but we'll do this. And what's his face ate all of our wheat. I guess we'll do this. That'll work. Hate to use that necromancer spell though, they're quite valuable. Right, we'll go for a... I'm gonna go gold mine. We still need, yeah, lots of wheat as well, because we don't want this guy to keel over dead. That will be pretty bad. Right, let's see if we can get him to... Yeah, we've got a bit of health on him, he's about a third. And these skeletons are about to disappear, so let's hope they get in there and get some work done quick. Good. Right, we're gonna want... Ooh, we can do more damage to bosses. It's probably a good shout actually, that. In addition... we can upgrade the bone pit so it just makes all our undead troops better. In fact, we can get troop training and bone pit. So we'll do that. Maybe I should have waited before I clicked on this. You know, we'll put arcane on, because that does affect the mushrooms here. And yeah, we're going to need a lot more grain, because this guy's getting bored again. Well, we're getting rid of most of these. But we've taken a few hits for castle there. We'll get a slinger's tree. And I think we've got a few gold mines now, so I'll grab an iron one. And yeah. It'll be a while before we can build this. We'll take an iron mine. So we've got plenty of iron now. Frailty is a really good one to use on bosses here. So it's basically, you cast it and it weakens the boss for a good while. Basically allows you to disintegrate an entire health bar pretty cheaply. We'll just go for some easier waves here, and then we'll go for this barracks at the end. We'll throw in, let's see, Depth Dweller. Ooh. We'll throw in a Depth Dweller here and here. I think that's fine. I don't want to push it too far with sending in too much stuff, so... And we'll get the... Yeah, we'll get the relics. And we're going to go to a cemetery trader and get the ancient pit. Hell, we've got 35 to spare. We could almost go for the crypt as well, but we'll keep going. Yeah, we really need wheat, something fierce, don't we? Yeah, and we're running out. Well, we've finally sold all the iron bars. Heal this guy up a bit. We need to watch out now, because that's all of our wheat gone. We can turn this basic construction into some. See, this needs water, this spawn to capacity. We'll do just that. Right, we've just about got them all. There we go. More necromancy. And speaking of, right, there's some extra troops. This guy's still on 1,000. Can we sell? We can sell iron. Can't we? We can sell some iron ore. And that gets us enough that we can create a basic construction. Hang on. We'll move this over because we're going to put a proper wheat field on this. And that'll tide us over for a while. Sorted. Right. There's our wheat shortage overcome. Right, the big guy here is kinda absolutely slamming us. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I think we're gonna need to use a necromancy spell to get us out of this pinch. Right. We're ripping him to shreds, but they're ripping our health on our castle to shreds. Ugh. Ah, this is one of the new spells added in the latest update. So, yeah, literally just summons TNT. Not so much a spell as just a guy runs out of the castle with a barrel of TNT, I guess. But yeah, we'll take what we can get. This shouldn't be as bad, I hope. Just to be sure. Oop. Oh, completely out of wheat again. And he's nearly dead. Like, even with all the wheat we're spending on this guy. Still near death. I really don't like this boss. Like, the modifier on this boss makes it so much worse. Summon more skeletons. We need to get this crystal mine down at some point too. Because if this thing gets to the gates, we're going to have an issue. Kill it, quick, quick. Ah. I've really got to remember that a graveyard, like, it's a lot tougher than you think. Like, normally we'd probably be able to deal with that against the village goblins, but yeah, zombies are that bit tougher. But the real problem is that they do a lot more damage to your castle. You can't have them just hit the castle for a while. They kind of absolutely smash it to pieces. Like, that's the one thing I would say with the graveyard that keeps catching me off guard. It's not that they've got a bit of extra health or that they're a bit harder hitting. It's that they do... I would honestly bet they do at least double damage to your castle, maybe more. It feels like they do almost like triple castle damage or something. Because it absolutely disintegrates as soon as they touch it. Like, almost to the point where it'd be worth getting rid of one of these just to get that guy who doubles your starting castle health. But, oh well, I'm just going to have to stop being as careless as that, right. We could afford this. I wonder if maybe we should be, yeah, moving towards that research table. Now that we've got some better options on what to use it for. Oh, it'd cost all of our crystals to get there though. That's gonna be awkward. Oh, we could just go for these, which wouldn't be an awful idea, but I feel like those are things we should be going for right at the very end. Once we've got everything else, yeah. Yeah, right now I really am thinking that research table could be very fun to use with this other advisor, which we didn't even get to show off just then. Right. Anyway, I think we'll give Alucard another go here, because I don't think we got to quite show them off to their full there. But for now, we'll call that an episode there. Thank you very much for watching, because yeah, it's just we're a bit far in to start a second run in the same episode, so we'll give it a go next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then.